Alhamdulillah, shukran everybody. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursaleen. Sayyidina wa nabiyyina wa maulana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa akhlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. All praises are due to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who had granted us once again this opportunity to gather this evening, inshallah. Also on this platform, to assist and share, the Arabic language, the study of it, inshallah. As well as in turn also, alhamdulillah, we take the opportunity in welcoming all the new students. Alhamdulillah, there was quite a lot of new students that have joined us, and inshallah we had quite a fruitful class on Sunday. And shukran once again to Buta Yusuf, who had actually done the video and recording for us, and alhamdulillah that is also available. You'll find that was a revised version of what we had done from lessons 1 to 6, alhamdulillah. So you can also consult, and with that lessons, and inshallah you'll find through it, it will also, assist, especially in the manner in which, you can actually work out your way and means that you will actually try and memorize and also familiarize ourselves with the Arabic grammar, alhamdulillah. Our last lesson that we had ended off was lesson number 6. And inshallah, our intention is to start lesson number 7 today or this evening, inshallah. And as you can see it on the screen there, I've opened up at lesson number 6, and just to give us just important I would say revision as to where we are at the moment. And it's important to just realize for the students, especially the new students, maybe that those who had actually joined tonight as the first opportunity. Inshallah, bear with us. You will see that as we go through the notes, you will be able to sort of catch on, and from there onwards, inshallah, you will see, how it actually fits, or the whole puzzle fits together. The main thing that I would just like to mention to us, you'll see, for example, that we are busy with nouns, and if we refer to being nouns, you can see the noun is obviously the name of or let's say making a reference to a person here, as you see, a doctor. And obviously, very, very importantly, we'll see that in the explanation it says it reads a doctor. Now, important when we look at nouns, as we know in any language, we find a noun is like making a reference to identifying a person, or identifying even an object. And here in Arabic, as we had explained in the lessons before that we had done, that we are doing, or where we're dealing in Arabic, there are two genders, which is important for us to be able to identify. The one gender is masculine gender, and the other one is feminine gender. And we know, like on masculine gender, obviously, if it's to a person, it refers to any male person, with regards connecting to a type of thing that he does. For example, a doctor, we regard him as a male. And then obviously we'll find a female doctor also. And we then, not in English, where we might refer, to her as a doctor as well, but we would refer to them, by adding something to the actual noun. For example, if we have there tabibun, as you can read there, on top there tabibun, okay, this is a doctor. Dhalika, before I come to that, is here tabibun. Tabibun is a doctor. It means a doctor. As we can see, the reason for it being a doctor, it doesn't refer to a specific doctor. So it's any doctor, but like we said, it's like therefore, and the indication of it being, not a, what you call it, not a definite person or a definite doctor. Like sometimes we find a definite is something when it's specific. In this particular case, it refers to, a doctor and not a specific doctor. And therefore you'll see in the translation here, it says a doctor. And the indication in Arabic is where you find, as you can see, the last letter being the ba. On top of the ba, you find we call it a tanween or a dommatain. Dommatain, the un sound. And that indicates to the student that refers to something which is indefinite. In Arabic, we refer to definite. Definite is when you refer to a specific thing, and indefinite when we refer, when there's no direct reference to, a certain item or person. And here we can therefore see, for example, so if you need to sort of change that to become a female doctor, then you will add a ta marbuta on there, as you can see in the last one there. Mumarridatun means a nurse, and if it's a female nurse, it's a mumarridatun, and that is all the lessons that we had discussed before, which you will find in your notes that we have actually, posted to you as well. And those of us who attended the class, alhamdulillah, I think you are quite familiar with that. We are currently busy with, then we did the adjective qualifying the noun, obviously, and adjective qualifying the noun. The important thing that we mentioned there was that you'll find when in Arabic, you'll find the noun first and then the adjective next to the noun. Okay, I'll give us an example here on this page here. Here we can see, for example, we find a noun. You see, like here, ذلك darsun is the noun, and then mufidun is the adjective qualifying the noun. Therefore, you can see in the explanation it says that is a useful lesson. Now, darsun is lesson, and useful is like mufidun. Okay, but you'll find when it's in Arabic, you find that you will always find the noun first and up, because obviously we read from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. So always find the noun first, and after that you will find the adjective describing the noun. Even if you therefore look at it, from a direct translation as it is there, we say, Dalika, darsun, mufidun, that is a lesson, useful. Okay, so obviously that's not proper English. So proper English will read that is a useful lesson, but the Arabic writing will be as that. Now, what we have thus far, we have now started formulating sentences where we added, as we had said, we added on here a pronoun, which here in this particular case is dhalika, and dhalika refers to that. And the one we did before this was hada, meaning this. Okay, and what we actually also were taught was that dhalika is used for masculine and tilka is used for feminine. Okay, so inshallah, just to, that was just a means to refresh us with regards to where we are at the moment. So if we look at the lesson today, inshallah, we will come to, here we refer to a detached pronoun. And in Arabic, this is our new lesson now, lesson number 7. In Arabic, you will find pronouns is, it's used in most cases, and obviously when we talk about a pronoun, it is like it is a word, or it's words that actually replaces the noun. Okay, and through it you can therefore then constitute a complete sentence. Okay, so here we refer to detached pronouns. So which means a detached pronoun is a pronoun which is separate from the noun. Okay. We will see, the reason why we mentioned that, we will see as we're going to go along with our studies now with the pronoun, we'll find that when you now start adding pronouns, you can actually have a detached or attached. Okay, because sometimes you'll see as we're going to go along now, we're doing the detached one, but later on we will, for example, find that we will add or attach it as a prefix or a suffix, meaning we'll add it in front or at the back, and then it's connected. At the moment, we're actually doing it as a sentence here, and therefore we will now, and when we look at this, we'll see that's the very same setup as what we had done, or say the setup, or you can refer more that it's a very same format as what we had done, when we did the demonstrative pronouns, okay, for the hadas and the dhalika. Here we can now see, now we will be using, you see, in this lesson, we only learn the 2 singular personal pronouns. So it's personal pronouns, it means this can only be used for persons. Remember when we spoke about nouns, we said nouns can be used for, or nouns are defined as male, or I would say persons, or non-persons, meaning things as well. For example, a door, which is a babun, that is also a noun, but it's not a person. It's obviously, as we would say, it is a thing, or it's an object. In this particular case, we will now starting to use huwa and hiya. See, huwa and hiya. And this is only used for persons. Okay? So therefore, please take note, you know, what we had just mentioned there. It's only used for persons. Okay? So here we look at, for example, we say huwa talibun. Okay? Huwa means he, right? And talibun is a student. Okay? Talibun is a student. And once again, as we can see, you'll find that the word is, there is no Arabic word for is. Okay? Is we actually use because of translating it over into the English language. Okay? That's very, very important. Okay? Because basically, if you look at, once again, if you look at as it is written here, the literal meaning, he, huwa means he, and talibun means a student. So if you're going to do a direct translation, you would have read, he, a student. Once again, as we say, it doesn't make sense. Therefore, you add is in there to actually make it a complete sentence, which this indicates to be a complete sentence. Okay? But like we said, we put in is because it to actually make it into a proper sentence with regards to the English language. Okay? So therefore, you say, huwa talibun, he is a student. But now if you want to say that she is a student, we'll see there's some change here. Number one, huwa is for masculine, so hiya, right? Hiya is for feminine, so hiya, but you can't then say hiya talibun, because talibun is a student with a reference to a male, okay? And as we had said, the nouns you'll find in two genders, either masculine or feminine. So therefore, when you now say hiya talibun, it should read hiya talibatun. Remember, I think this was an exercise that we have been going over and over, and that was that when you change something from masculine into feminine, you add the ta marbuta there, as we see there, the ta or the ha, but then the last letter, which is the ba, it now takes a ah. And the last letter will always, the second last letter, or the last letter that was in the masculine form, where it was a tanween, when it now becomes, feminine, you add the ta marbuta, but then that ba or the letter there before the tanween takes a ah sound. It will always be like that. That is like a ruling like that. Okay? So inshallah, let us therefore just confirm what we were saying. The masculine pronoun huwa means he. As is noted in the above example, huwa refers to persons only. Okay? The feminine person, the feminine personal pronoun is hiya, which means she. As is noted in the above example, hiya refers to persons only as well. Note that there is no, not neutral gender. There's no neutral gender, which means, that it's supposed, there's not supposed to be any, what do we call it? What's the right word now? I can't say gay, but, there can be a man, woman, it can't be like that, It's either masculine or feminine, okay? So there's therefore no neutral gender in Arabic. And therefore, non-persons elements must be either masculine or feminine, as we had already discussed. Let us do a couple of examples just to refresh, what we had actually been, the actual discussion we just had to refresh it. Huwa ibnun, you can read, with me, if you, you don't need to unmute if you want to unmute, no problem. But, you can just read also as where you are. It's just to actually open the vocal cords a bit, because we might be asking questions later on, inshallah. Okay. Huwa ibnun. Okay. Huwa ibnun means he is a son, right? Huwa ibnun, he is a son, which means refer to any son. Huwa tabibun, he is a doctor, right? The next one, the use of hiya. Hiya tabibatun, she is a doctor. Hiya khamidun, she is a servant. So if I ask you in this particular one here, hiya tabibun, if I tell you, can you change that into a masculine? How would you say that? If you want to if you need to change that to be masculine now, we're saying she is a doctor. Now, if you want to say he is a doctor, how would you say?
Huwa tabibun.
Ahsan. Huwa tabibun. And what did you do there? You obviously you changed you change here to huwa, because huwa is for masculine, and tabibun, as you know, as taken over from tabibatun being feminine. And here hiya khadimatun, how would you change that over into masculine?
Huwa khadimun.
Huwa khadimun.
Khadimun.
Ahsan, right. Remember here, note, there is no word for ease in Arabic. See, there they make the statement there, okay? These independent personal pronouns can also be used as adjectives. You know, as we know, can anybody maybe just, by the way, remember when a noun is qualified by an adjective, what do we refer that noun to be?
Mawsuf.
Mawsuf, okay? A mawsuf is when a noun is qualified by an adjective, you don't refer to it now as a noun, but you say it is the mawsuf. Okay? Mawsuf, yeah, mawsuf. Just so, by the way, you'll find it in lesson 1 and 2. You know, lesson 2 and 4, they make specific mention of it. Examples. You see, we say, huwa tawilun, he is tall, right? You can say, huwa tawilun, he is tall. But then you can see here, huwa qasir, hiya qasiratun, she is short. Okay? So there, huwa and hiya can also refer, you know, refer to a person, you know, so you don't need to, for example, say, you know, Muhammad is short. You can say he is short, you know, hiya, I mean, huwa or hiya, you know. So as you can see, that is the actual usage of a pronoun, that the pronoun in turn sort of takes the place of the noun. Okay, there you are, right. Here you can see huwa is the noun here, and obviously tawilun tells you about the noun, etc., etc. So explanation, in the first example, the personal pronoun huwa is masculine and the adjective therefore must be masculine. And here we can understand, as we had mentioned even to us when it came to the demonstrative pronoun also, that when the noun is masculine, then the adjective must also be masculine, right? You agree with me? Or must it be feminine? Oh, must be masculine, right? So they must agree, like we say, in gender. They must agree in gender. Okay, fine. So therefore we see in the second example, the adjective qasirun, short, is feminine as indicated by the ta marbuta because it must agree with hiya, which is feminine. Note that the adjectives in both examples are indefinite. Very, 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 very important. As we had said, you know, that when the noun is indefinite, then obviously the adjective must also be indefinite. Okay, that's very, very important. So therefore, you will see there that indicates to us, you know, that huwa tawilun and hiya qasiratun. It takes the dhammatain at the back. More examples with huwa now, you know, where we can see obviously they will now start using, you know, referring to huwa as the person now. Huwa hazinun, hazinun is he is sad. So how would you say she is happy? She is happy. Anybody?
Hiya sa'idatun.
Hiya sa'idatun. Hiya sa'idatun means she is happy. You know, obviously that is from the examples that we had done, meaning like hazinun is sad. So the opposite of hazinun is happy, which is sa'idun. And obviously, because hiya refers to feminine, sa'idun becomes feminine, now sa'idatun, right? He is a merchant, okay? Huwa tajirun, right? Huwa tajirun, okay? He is small, huwa saghirun, and how would I change that to be she is small?
Hiya saghiratun.
Ahsan, hiya saghiratun, beautiful. No, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. The class is on par this evening, alhamdulillah. Righto, the use of hiya mutawadi'atun, that's a new word that we will actually, you know, learn this evening. Hiya mutawadi'atun means she is humble, right? She is humble, and if I would say he is humble,
Huwa mutawadi'un.
huwa
متوادع.
The ta marbuta falls away and the ain takes the un sound there. Okay? Righto. Now we look at the other one. Hiya sa'idatun. She is happy. And if I say he is happy,
هو سعيد.
you with me? Huwa
وسعيد.
sa'idun. Righto. Then the last one here, hiya ghaniyatun. Hiya ghaniyatun, meaning she is rich. Ghaniyatun, ghaniyatun. Allah Ta'ala is al-ghani. He is the all rich, right? One of the attributes of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, He is al-ghaniyun. He is the all rich, meaning He possesses all the ability of wealth and, you know, riches and etc. etc. Right. Some new words that we're learning on, inshallah, new vocabulary. Broken is maksurun. Maksurun. And if we must change that into feminine, how would that be? What did that read?
مكسورة.
Uwama, I say maksuratun.
مكسورة.
Okay, here's a new word we're learning on. Iyadatun. Iyadatun. Okay? And if I must make that masculine, what would it read?
Let's say so. It's a feminine word.
Okay, iyadatun is and importantly, as I mentioned, you know, in one of the classes, you must take note that when it comes to persons, you will find, you know, that it can sort of be changed by adding the marbuta. But when it comes to, like we say, objects, you know, then you find in its origin, you know, they are all like, for example, either masculine or feminine in the origin of the word, especially when it refers to an object or thing, right? Mujtahidun is hardworking. Mujtahidun.
I heard people building were there. It's so old. I doesn't look at them anymore. Old people.
Okay. Righto.
That was in your side, so I think you shoot it.
Okay. Mudarrisun, a teacher. Mudarrisun is a teacher, and if we would say a female teacher is called a female teacher. Mudarrisatun, right? So mudarrisun, remember so this is a different, we find here we have two words that we're using for a teacher. The common word we use is muallimun, right? Muallimun or muallimatun. But obviously here we can see another word that used for a teacher is also called a mudarris, mudarrisun. Then a leader, a new word, a leader, za'imun. Za'imun, and a female will obviously be za'imatun, right? An engineer is called muhandisun, you know? Sometimes we engineer, mechanic, whatever, technician is called a muhandisun, muhandisun. And obviously if she's feminine, how would you then refer to her as a muhandisatun? Okay, muhandisatun, right? A worker, amilun, okay? And obviously when you refer to a feminine worker, it would be
amilatun.
Amilatun. Beautiful, right? Then we have a mosque is called
Masjidun.
Masjidun, right? Sincere. We've heard this word quite a lot of times, you know. Therefore, even they refer to Surah Qul Huwallahu Ahad as Suratul Ikhlas. See, Ikhlas is derived from the noun here, mukhlisun. Mukhlisun. So a person who is sincere is called a mukhlis. Mukhlisun. Mukhlisun. Okay, and an author. An author is called a mu'allifun. Mu'allifun. Okay, and a female author would be called a
mu'allifatun.
Mu'allifatun. Right. Let us just see what we can do with this exercises here quickly. We'll just do one or two before we maybe go to a new lesson, inshallah. Maybe Yusuf, I just want to know from everybody, is there anybody that has any questions with regards to the lesson that we have done so far? Can we maybe unmute those who want to maybe just, ask a question or so? Are we all comfortable with, with the lesson thus far? Looking at the attached pronoun, which is huwa and hiya. And we refer to it as when it is masculine, you use huwa. When it is feminine, you use hiya. And importantly, that you'll find that your noun that is attached at the back or your adjective, it is all indefinite and each and every one of them will have a tanween at the back. No, the un sound, right? So is there any questions that you have?
Yes, I do have. It's not a question, it's more of just, if I'm understanding this correctly, any person related word can be transferred to masculine or feminine. Am I saying this correctly?
Yes.
But any object will stay feminine or it will stay masculine.
Awesome. Beautiful.
Am I saying this correctly?
A very good point.
That is so well done. Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
That's very, very important. Therefore, you see what I've been trying all the time, but they caught me out now, is that I've been throwing it around, and every time I used to just to check, how, or to, just to maybe give you a brain teaser or two to just see, that we're not following just a pattern, but we're also, thinking about, the actual item or the object that we're speaking about. Therefore, sometimes I would ask the question, intentionally, so for example, like the word there where we came to clinic, I said iyadatun. Now, iyadatun is a clinic. You can never get a masculine clinic or feminine clinic. You know what I'm trying to say? And that is what I'm trying to do. So obviously, if you're going to say that, the masculine form is iyadun, because, when it's going to take a tamakuta, then as you, rightfully observed, you also need to be conscious that therefore your vocabulary is important, that you understand your words first and foremost, that you know what the meanings, or like we call it in Arabic, the ma'na. I sometimes will ask the question, ma ma'na, what is the meaning of? I'll ask the question like that, then you automatically know the meaning. And it's important that we need to actually familiarize ourselves, as I say, as time comes on or goes on, we need to familiarize ourselves with the actual, what we call it, the vocabulary that we're learning on. And importantly, I think I have given it a thought, and maybe, I will put it over to us maybe later, inshallah, maybe when we reach a certain stage, that I would maybe draw up a questionnaire, but just for you to work on, just to, because sometimes we find, and it is like, as I say, it is a learning curve for us at this particular time, in that we're working on a platform that everybody is not familiar with, So sometimes some might sort of call out the answer ahead of others, and some might, sort of sit and try and work it out, which is actually the main purpose of the lessons. So, therefore, I feel that, but when I do send you a questionnaire, for all in general, then you can send it back to me or so, whatever, by personal WhatsApp or so, so that I can just see that we are familiar, with the actual concept. Because you must remember that, when you study any language, it's not just like you're studying it for now and you will remember it. Every time you will, as you will go on, you will learn different words and you will add on, and you'll, because there are certain things that we're studying now, or we're making statements which are the norm. But you'll find, for example, like we know that nouns are masculine and feminine, and obviously every sentence that you have there is a noun in there, right? So obviously your sentences will always be masculine and feminine, but there are certain things apart from females and, like we'd say, nouns with a feminine ta on there, that we will get, for example, that there will come about certain other instances which is also regarded as where, the noun becomes feminine, So therefore I say, but that is exceptions to the norm. So what we're doing now is we do all the common and the normal stuff until later on, when we are now solid. Now we can start changing little things, as we go along, inshallah. I just want to go through an exercise, so you can unmute yourself, and like I say, I'll just listen to the answer, and then we'll go on. And as I say, this is just as a means to encourage you to when you have time to do, you know, all these exercises. We call it exercise in Arabic is tamarin, or the tamarin, you know, must do it, and then you obviously can double check on yourself. Obviously, if you are a family of more or friends that are together, obviously it makes it much easier because then you can actually share with one another and, you know, ask the other one to just listen to my pronunciations, etc., etc. Okay, righto. So translate the following into Arabic. It is a car.
Imam, it must be Ari or Tilka. It can't be Oa here.
Naam, beautiful. Very good. Very good. Very good, Auntie Zarina. Excellent. Nah? So it must be either
Yeah.
Ari or Tilka. Remember,
Yeah, Dalika.
Hua and Hia is persons.
Basta.
Whenever car has become a person, dan moet ons maar gaan uitvind wat gaat aan, you know, if the car has become a person. So beautiful. That is either here, like here, she is a car, because as I say, we'll see that we find that certain objects are also referred to as she. You know, why? That's a good question. Why would they say she is a car? Here say Yara.
Feminine noun.
It's a feminine.
Sayara is feminine. So you can't say Hua Sayaratun because Hua is masculine. Right?
Yeah.
So you can either say it is either, you can say, for example, like as we say, Auntie Zarina says, Dalika, sorry, Tilka, or Hadihi.
But that
Right.
is.
Huh?
That is. But in
Second
that
one?
is.
Die question is, it is a car.
It is either that or Dalika. Then it is Tilka, then that is a car.
That is a car, whatever, yeah, you know. But you can't use Hua and Ya, okay? Even though we might say she is a car, you know. My
Yeah, but
car,
another
yeah,
another
you know,
sentence.
That's right, yeah. So therefore, it's either you know, there can be an error there, or, you know, it's maybe a brain teaser for us, you know, to see either that is a car or it is a car, like here or not here. What's it? Tilka. Righto. The next one, she is a good nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marida.
Mumarridatun.
Maridatun, yeah. What is a good? Taibatun.
Tayyibatun. Okay? Mumarridatun.
Here.
Hiya.
Here, Mubaridatun.
Tayyibatun. Now, importantly, as we can see here, just for us as how that sentence was formulated, you know, even though we say goodness, meaning where you have the adjective before you actually say what we call it, the noun, but when in Arabic you find that the noun comes first and then the adjective after. But when you translate English, obviously, then you'll say the adjective first. Because if you must say now, for example, in English, you say, she is a nurse good. You know, it's not gonna, doesn't sound okay. So proper English would be, she is a good nurse. Right? Oh, he is a sincere man. I'll give us sincere.
Huwa rajulun mukhlisun.
Huwa rajulun mukhlisun. This is a big room. Room. What is room?
Ghurfa.
Ghurfatun. Ghurfatun. So,
هذه غرفة كبيرة.
هذه
غرفة كبيرة.
That is a chalkboard. Chalkboard.
Yeah.
What is
Saburatun.
Saburatun.
Hiya saburatun.
Hiya saburatun.
Saburatun.
Right. She is clever.
Yeah.
Ya zakiyatun.
Yeah.
Ya zakiyatun.
Yeah.
Zakiyatun.
He is hardworking.
هو
Huwa mujtahidun.
Mujtahidun.
Huwa
mujtahidun.
mujtahidun. She is an engineer.
Ya muhandisatun.
Huwa
Muhandisatun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ya Ya, Muhandisatun.
Muhandisatun. Righto. That is a big library.
Dalika maktabatun kabiratun.
Dalika maktabatun.
Maktabatun kabiratun.
Kabiratun.
This is broken. This is broken.
Iya.
Hada maksurun.
هذا مقصور.
Hada.
Di maksuratun and hada maksurun.
Obviously, if we refer to this, this will read hada, right?
هذا
Hada, because broken is the masculine form or the actual word broken is maksur. So
Yeah.
you will find, I think Yusuf asked the question once, how would you know that the question refers to being masculine or feminine? When any question asked in a pattern like that, you know, or in that format, then it is masculine. So if they want you to give the feminine reference, then in brackets here they will put a small f.
Oh.
In brackets they put a small f here, which will automatically indicate feminine. Inshallah, so I will leave that to us there now, is because I think the class is big enough now, and you are also big enough now to do your own homework, from now on. Inshallah, because I can't spoon feed anymore. I'll see you Utal, lesson number 7. I do your homework for you. Okay? I like the last one here, I like the last one here. Look at there. Can
Nice, okay.
quickly run through this? I just want to do this. This is the
Huwa tayyibun.
Tabibun.
Tabibun.
you will be able to find out who actually do, because you can see here there's no harakat, there's no signs on the letters. And as I mentioned to the students before, and in the classes, you'll find that in Arabic books, you'll find most of the books are written in this format. There are no kasras, dommas, whatever on there. It is like that. So therefore, you should, if you know your vocabulary, you'll be able to identify. Everybody should know that the first two. What is that first two?
Huwa tabibun.
That will be huwa.
Huwa tabibun.
Even though you don't put any signs on there, it is huwa.
Yeah.
And then
هو طبيب.
tabibun, right? Tabibun. Right?
Tilka.
The next one, tilka.
Tilka.
Khafiyatun.
Khafiyatun.
Hakibatun. That is the satchel, right? Or bag. This one,
Hadi
هذه منددة طويلة.
mashallah, abdamani. Hadihi min dadatun
Matatun.
tawilatun.
Katiratun.
Ma ma'ana, what is the meaning of that sentence?
Tawilatun is
This is
a big place. What?
tawilun
Tawilun.
min dadatun bima'ana table. Table.
Okay. The long table.
Yeah,
This is a long table.
Even the word tawilun is used for tall, but you can't say this is a tall table. That's not proper English.
The long table.
Okay, righto. Dus lang tafel and kort tafel, like they say. Okay, next one.
London. هذا
هذا ولد ذكي.
Waladun.
He's a clever boy. Zakiyun.
Waladun zakiyun.
Zakiyun.
Next one.
Iya.
هي
Tawilatun.
Nadifatun.
Berarti
She's useful.
Yeah.
Nadifatun.
فروجد
خفيفة.
This one.
iya.
Maridatun.
Maratun.
أنيسة.
Anisatun.
Yeah. Mumarridatun.
Anisatun.
A friendliness. Right. Next one.
Huwa.
Huwa.
نعيم.
Ra'im.
طيب.
Da'imun is a
The leader.
leader.
Is the
Next
leader?
one. Next one.
Tilka.
Tilka.
Tilka qamidatun
Mujtahidatun.
mujtahidun.
Mujtahidatun. Okay.
Hardworking.
Hardworking.
That
Female
is a
servant.
hardworking servant.
Servant, yeah. Next one.
Zalika.
Zalika.
Shani'un
Wasi'un.
Wasiun.
The last one.
ذلك شانئ
Hada maktabun. Maktabun.
MashaAllah, Hada maktabun. Alhamdulillah, I think that tells us that lesson is covered. Another lesson in quickly. Righto. Here we come to the detached pronouns. On the first lesson, before we come to this one, are we all comfortable with that?
Yeah.
All comfortable? Is there any questions that we have regarding that one? That seems okay now, but if there's any, please, don't, I would say, don't be shy, ask the question, or even you can even sort of make contact with me offline as well. Okay. Righto. Lesson number 8. Once again, can we see we're doing pronouns now? We spoke about he and she. Now we're coming to the detached pronoun again, the one that is used, where we use I and you. I and you, masculine and feminine all the time. Ad-damir or ad-damirul munfasilu. Munfasila means, those things, those that are attached, detached, and the muttasila are those who are connected. Okay? So we're looking at this is now we're going to see we come very near to Arabic. Okay, very near to Arabic. Righto. Here we say, like you, we're doing you first, and then we're going to do I. You. Anta.
Anta.
Anta, sorry, mudarrisun. You
Anta
are a teacher. And you see now, you're not going to say you is a teacher because that's not proper English.
You are teacher.
But therefore, importantly, like we say, is and are words that we fit to actually bring about proper understanding in English. Okay? So, anta. For a male, you say anta. Kaifa anta. Gewoon ons dan sê nou wat.
Ja, kaifa anta.
Nee, ons is nog nie daar nie, maar how? So, kaifa anta. Anta. So now we're looking at, because now we're going to, in Arabic, we'll come to learn that Arabic has got three, it's like three-dimensional. You would speak like with three, like we call it first person, when you speak about yourself, I. Second person, when you speak to a person directly, that's you.
You.
And the third person is them. Therefore, you see, we find like anta, and then you find after that, you find obviously like kum, and then whom, But anyway, we will come to that. But in this particular case, we're speaking now to a second person, right? So we see here, like anti, mudarri satun. Okay, anti. So for a male, you say anta, and for a female, you say anti. So you, when you speak Arabic, when you speak to a person, you address them directly, you say anti, for a female, and anta for a man. Okay? Okay, are you with me? Yeah. Righto. So the word, if we look at, for example, the explanations here, the first example, the independent personal pronoun anta, you, is used to refer to masculine nouns. Okay? So once again, when you refer to a masculine noun, like we would say, anta and anti also once again are used for persons, right? So therefore, you can't say to a book anta, because the book is a thing, So obviously, you refer to persons. So when you refer to a male, you'll use the word anta, and you refer to a female, you will use the word anti. The second example, anti-you, is used to refer to a feminine noun. Example, mudarrisatun. Note the two pronouns anta and anti refer to persons only, kanala, and not to things. Okay. So here again we have exactly the same, formation where we have an indefinite, as we say there, the indefinite noun there, and you have your anta for masculine and anti for feminine, similar as you had huwa and here. Can we see? So now, as I say, your format still stays the same. And this is just for us to familiarize ourselves with all the wording. Then inshallah, you know, the vocabulary, and then it will be, like, as you say, no difficulty for us to go along. You know, so like I say, don't become impatient. I know there's a lot of words to learn on, but alhamdulillah, you know, daai wat so lekker uitskree, moenie worry, alles ou students al, you know, so you actually know exactly, you know, that you will always do this day, inshallah. And I'm also happy for them that they can actually, you know, motivate the class, you know, to make it, I would say, clear to the class that it is possible to reach those stages, you know, but it all comes and it takes effort and also commitment. You know? So alhamdulillah. So if we look at it, for example, anta muhandisun, right? Anta mudirun. Anta mudirun. The mudir, this is a new word. Director. No, we refer director. Director is also a mudir is also referred to as a principal. No? Okay, mudir is also referred to as a principal, you know, or that, because some you see some top positions, like even I would say he's the director of the university. You know, not director, director, sometimes for a company, but also director, sometimes it refers to, okay? So it's referred to a mudir, no? Mudirun, anta mumarridun, you know, you are a nurse, okay? Here's a new word we're learning on, anta shari'un. Shari'un is a poet.
Poet.
Shari'un. Therefore, there's a surah in the Holy Quran, Surah 46, Surah Shu'ara. See, Shu'ara is the plural for Sha'irun. Sha'irun, remember we're doing here singular. But Surah to Shu'ara is the chapter of the poets. Shu'ara. See, Shu'ara. See, the shin stays there, the ain and the ra. So that is included there.
Shu'ara.
Sha'irun. Anta latifun. Latifun is pleasant. You know, sometimes also they translated to be kind, okay? But it's like, you know, in that type of mood, of a type of person. Then we come to the following word, anta, the use of anti muandisatun, okay? You are an female engineer. There's a anti karimatun. See, anti karimun, or anta maf karimun, anti karimatun means she is, or you, female maf, you female is, or are generous. No, you are generous, right? Anti muti'atin means to be obedient. You are obedient and you are sincere. Anti
mukhlisatun.
Right? And then you are happy. Anti
sa'idatun.
Sa'idatun, yeah. Okay? And if you must say you male are happy, how would you say?
Anta
Sa'idun.
Sa'idun. Anta Sa'idun. Right? And you are obedient?
Anta
Muti'un. And you masculine, you are an engineer? Masculine?
Anta
Muhandisun.
Anta muhandisun. Right. Very nice, very nice. Okay, alhamdulillah. So here we can see, now, are we clear with the anta? Are we clear with the anta? Okay? Everybody clear with it? Alhamdulillah. I think it's, you know, because we can see the class are now, we'll be getting a grasp of it, you know? Alhamdulillah, because it's now, it's like just repetitive, but we're adding new words all the time, and also we're adding new pronouns on the time. And I think that will make your conversational Arabic within your home environment a bit better. You know, you used to, maybe when you start practicing, then you used to tell your wife, for example, your child, you know, you would say waladun, you know, or whatever the case may be. Now you can say, you can use the word, you know, huwa waladun, or he, you know, hiya, or now you can even say anta, how are you, anta, auntie, you know.
waladun sakhira.
Okay. Right. So now we look at item B, we're using the word ana. Okay, as you can see, it reads ana. Can you see the ana? Nun alif.
Yeah.
But obviously what happens here when you address, then you won't say ana mumarridun, you say ana. Okay? But importantly, you write that you must add the alif on there. Because if you're not going to add the alif on them, then that ana will be that. You see? So that is important in Arabic. You find that sometimes the way in which you write the word, that will bring about, because there are some words like we call it, some letters are there, like we call it la mutakharik. La mutakharik means it is a letter that is part of the word, but it hasn't got a sign on it. You know what I'm trying to say? It hasn't got a sign on it. For example, in English, you can take the word, if you look at the word scissors, for example, scissors you spell S-C-I, double S-O-R, right? Isn't? But when you pronounce it, you won't say scissors. You say
Scissors.
scissors. But if you write scissors, the word scissors, without the C in there, then it isn't scissors. You know what I'm trying to say? So obviously, so that is where we find certain words, you know, that some letters are there, but it hasn't got a sign on it. And as soon as it hasn't got a sign on it, and it doesn't sort of bring about any sound or change to the sound in the sentence, then obviously it is there for a grammatical purpose. You know, it must be written like that, even though it, even though it might sound, you know,
pronounced.
you might say, like for example, instead of saying ana, you would say, or you instead of writing ana, you could have just write an alif and a nun. Then it would be ana. But automatically, as I say, if you write it like that, then it doesn't mean I any longer. It means that. Okay, ana means that, as we will come into later, you know, analysis or tafsir. So there, now when you speak about yourself, you know, you say, ana mumarridun, I am a nurse. Okay? And ana mumarridatun, I am a female nurse. So therefore, what you can observe there, when it comes to I, then ana, and ana is for male and female. Okay? Ana is for male and female. Okay, and therefore the alif here, the alif is important. The alif brings, you know, brings about, you know, when you refer to yourself as first person, ana, first person, you, second person, they, third person. Okay, so that is important for us to take note of there, that ana in this particular case refers to I am. Okay, I am, because obviously that's English. See this, so am and are and is we bring in as to bring about more understanding in the English text. Okay. So alhamdulillah, here the explanation, the independent personal pronoun ana can refer to masculine and feminine nouns. Very, very important. Okay, ana. Inshallah, we will come to it later on when we go to the plurals. We'll say, for example, when you look at ana, okay, meaning I, so when you refer to we, in Arabic, we would say nahnu, nahnu, but you know, that is so, by the way, nahnu. Therefore, when you make dua, you say astaghfirullah, right? Why astaghfirullah? Can you see ana, the alif there? So when you put the alif into your request, like for example, astaghfirullah means I ask forgiveness, but we are, then it takes nahnu means we are forgiveness.
Allah. Okay.
You see? Then you say nastaghfirullah.
Nastaghfirullah. We.
Astaghfirullah, I, goes ana, and if you say nastaghfirullah, it means us, you know. But nastaghfirullah, we will still do that, inshallah.
Inna as'aluka.
Remember, you are now able to use quite a lot of these pronouns to be able to make up sentences, you know. And I think that is the nice way to go into this weekend. Maar we niet die mensen ze klop dronk praten over Anna, auntie. But practice among yourself so and whatever, and you'll see, inshallah, you know, you will familiarize yourself with it. Okay, so now we're going to do some examples. Anna sahafiyun. Anna sahafiyun. Sahafiyun is a journalist. Okay?
Sahafiyun. Anna sahafiyun.
That's obviously masculine. Okay? And I am sincere. Anna
mukhli.
Okay? How would you say I am a female journalist?
Anna
sahafiyatun.
Anna sahafiyatun. Righto, and now we come to I am obedient. Ana muti'atun. Okay, or ana muti'un. You know, they're just giving us a bit, throwing it a bit around here. So which means you can use it for masculine, you can use ana, and for feminine, you can use ana. Okay?
I'm a doctor.
And then I am a doctor. Ana tabibatun or ana tabibun. Right? I am a writer. Ana katibatun. Ana katibatun.
Katibatun.
See, to write means kataba means to write. So therefore, the person who does the writing is called a katib. No? Katibun. Therefore, you know, like
Katibatun.
another word for katibun
Katibun,
are
katibatun.
secretaries. The secretaries are katibun. Those who are writing down the minutes and that. No? Katibun. You know, those
Katibun.
record.
Anna
You know?
katibun.
Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu also had, you know, katibuns, you know, they were also those who wrote, you know, the scripts for the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you know, narrated it to them. So note, Mudhakkar, ana, I, anta, you, and huwa, he. Can we see these are what we have done so far? So this is something that you must try and file within your understanding. Okay? Can we see here now? There's a nice table for you to remember. These are, like we said, when you speak, you can use the following.
Yeah.
For mudhakkar, for
Wah,
I
yeah.
use ana.
Yeah.
For you, masculine, I use anta. And for he, masculine, I use
Huwa.
huwa. Okay?
Huwa.
So I, ana, you, anta, he, huwa.
Huwa.
Mu'annath, I, ana,
Anna, you, auntie.
yeah.
She, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So those are that if we summarize the lessons that we have done now, the two lessons that we have done together, huwa, hiya, ana, and anta, anti, then this is summarized in here.
Huwa
Okay.
and yeah.
That is how we must just try and memorize it, inshallah, with the new words that you actually learned on today. Inshallah, then you should be quite on your way with having at least have covered about 8 lessons, you know, that we have done so far, alhamdulillah, which I think it's a great achievement, you know. I think you need to actually give yourself an applause there for that, alhamdulillah. Okay? So let us look at just the vocabulary here again, just before we conclude, inshallah. Yeah, also see them. Marv, sir? Anybody say anything?
No.
Okay, Marv. Right, a child is a tiflun. Okay? Tiflun. Okay? Right. Shari'un is a poet. We mentioned that one. Sahafiyun is a journalist. Sahafiyun. A Muslim is a Muslim, male. And how would you say a female Muslim?
Muslimah.
Muslimatun.
Muslimatun, yeah. And answer.
Jawab.
Jawabun. We used to be, you know, Jawab. Say Jawab. I see a penny as a ba after Jawab.
Jawab.
You say Jawab. No? Jawab, you know. So mean answer. Su'al is question. Su'al is a question. And Jawab. Or Jawab is to give an answer. Muhadir. This is a beautiful. Muhadirun is a lecturer. Muhadirun.
Muhadiratun.
Latifun.
Pleasant is latifun.
Latifun.
Ya latif.
Ya latifun.
You know, so but when you refer, but you'll see there also, as I say, transfer or translated as the kind. You know, when you refer to Allah, the kind. The kind. And the generous also. Pleasant means to be. What's it? Latif means to be pleasant, to be kind. Generous, because come and say Allah's pleasant. Did you see Allah already? So you can't say Allah is pleasant. When the reference is used, to Allah, because Allah, one of the sifats of Allah is Al-Latif. Ya Latif, Ya Latif. The generous Lord or whatever. Here's a baker. Khabbazun. You see a female baker is a
Khabazun.
Khabazatun, yeah. Okay. Khabazun is a male. Khabazatun is a female. Yeah, a woman. Imra'atun. Okay. Now the word nisa refers to plural. Plural. You can, you know, that we will come
Surah
to.
Nisa.
Yeah, you know, imra'atun, there's different words that they use for female as well. Okay. Yeah, imra'atun, a woman. You know, imra'atun, or like we say nisa'un, so it's a bit off there, but you know, like I say, it refers to different, different, I would say, categories of women when it comes to this particular, but you know, they use that, and there's a third one that they also use. And the last word is safhatun.
Safhatun.
Safhatun. No? Suhufi Ibrahim wa Musa. Suhuf. No, the name. Right. Alhamdulillah, there is all our homework, inshallah. So I can see we have a very, very busy weekend ahead, you know. Very busy weekend ahead, you know, to work on that. Inshallah, try and work on it because I think it will just only but better yourself, you know. Because
Inshallah.
I know it's not, I know we have very, very busy schedules and all that, but at least inshallah, try and make an effort because as I say, the more effort you put in now, you'll find that eventually, you know, the more it's going to come, it's not going to sort of put some pressure on you because, you know, the importance of this is to actually understand, you know, that's important. Our end of year, inshallah, we will start by lesson number 9. And this is, you know, because now we were going to start, we call it there, the preposition, the harfu jar. Harfu jar, jar means, you know, to connect there, you know, but inshallah we will discuss that. That is not the only preposition, you know, but this is more the preposition bringing about, what's it, possession. But inshallah, indaka, you know, inda ma shadul maqam, you know, you'll see inshallah as you will be reading the Quran, there are certain words that you have come across, whatever, that you will now also start getting some understanding. But inshallah, I will conclude with that. And I think we can now open, you know, we will call it the communication. If there's any questions that we have, inshallah, then we can, you know, I see you can raise your hand or you can, you know, you can ask, inshallah, and before we bid farewell, inshallah. So is there any questions that we have? Is there any feedback that you want to give? You know, how did you find, especially the new students, how did you find the, you know, the interaction, you know, is there things that we can better on or does it, you know?
No, it's fine like this.
You know, inshallah?
I think it's amazing.
Imam going to email it again to us.
Oh,
Yes, that was the question.
Yeah, email it to us because we want to download it.
Tell me, haven't you got these lessons?
But you can send it from your WhatsApp, your email.
But tell me, have you got these lessons? Up to what lesson do you people have? I thought we send it on to you.
No, that's lesson of tonight.
No.
But now I've sent out to lesson number 8.
Number 7, you think?
I think I only have to lesson 4.
Okay, you know, you will have. I know the team that joined us now on Sunday, but I mean, I'm talking about can you maybe just confirm, you know, up to what lesson you have, then we can maybe mail it.
Yeah.
I can't hear everybody. That's the thing.
Oh.
Oh, I think what you can do is, yeah, that's a good idea, Zahir. What you can do is just put it on the Arabic chat, you know?
Yeah.
You know, who haven't got it, or, you know, up to lesson number 8, because obviously I will add 2 more lessons, 9 and 10, you know? 9 and 10, maybe for next week. I think 9 and 10, or maybe because now lesson number 10 is a complete new concept, you know? We're going to do definite. When it comes to lesson number 10 is going to be the definite one. We've been doing indefinite all the time. So now there's going to be a bit of a changeover. So I think on lesson number 10, I might be sitting a bit longer. So we'll see, inshallah. But please just indicate on the group. Chat group as to what lesson you have. then what we can do is then, and please, if you don't mind, put your email address there, and I can just, arrange that we email it to you guys. Okay?
Yes,
Anything
Inshallah.
else? Anything else
Nope.
before we conclude? Is there anything else before we conclude?
No, shukran.
Yes, Imam, would you send
shukran,
feedback after you've spoken to Brother Ibrahim regarding the booklets? Can Allah?
Yeah, inshallah. I don't see Ibrahim is on the chat now.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not today. He's not today. I will just find out because what had actually happened was, and this arena, have you maybe got an answer for us?
And unmute yourself. I'll just ask you to unmute yourself now.
I just need to find out from Andis Arena because Ibrahim, I gave him all the details, and there was about 16 or 20 books, and what Ibrahim said was he was gonna acquire the number of Brother Riaz, also of Sawans, and he was in turn going to liaise with him, and then in turn he was gonna then acquire the books on our behalf, and then in turn he would have liaised with us as to how we would actually just get the books by him, just compensate him for that, inshallah. So okay, fine. I'll ask Ibrahim to put it on the chat for us because it doesn't seem he would have obviously let me know already whether he got the books, but and this Arena would be able to tell us whether the books is there already because it was due to have come over the weekend, I think. So inshallah, I don't see.
Imam, I just went away. I hear Imam talk about the books. I'll find out tomorrow again. But I gave Imam the number also. No? Did Imam?
Yes, I was saying on this Arena, I gave it to Ibrahim.
Oh,
and
okay.
Ibrahim was going to liaise with Riaz.
Okay.
And then, we, in actual fact, he made the arrangement that and took on the responsibility to acquire the books for those who haven't got, But now he's not on the, on the group tonight because inshallah, our cousin, it's his brother, he's not well, man. Him and his wife, they're not well. The brother is hospitalized, inshallah, and we make dua. Allah Ta'ala must grant him shifa and kamila. Inshallah, Allah must make it easy for them. So he's probably family in that aspect, inshallah. So our du'as go out to them and all those.
Ameen.
Inshallah, I think on that note, we, if there's nothing else to further discuss, inshallah, shukran once again to each and every one.
Shukran to Imam also.
Once again to you,
Imam.
very much for your.
Imam.
The way you actually handling the things for us, alhamdulillah, it seems to be, was faultless this evening. To all the new students, alhamdulillah, Qasima and Irfan and Yazid and, with the Hamza, inshallah, and with Ikram Lombard, all of you, alhamdulillah, welcome, marhaban bikum, marhaban bikum wa ahlan, welcome. All part of the family, inshallah. And inshallah, next week, we will continue, inshallah. I hope everyone is well. And shukran once again. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala.
Wa alaikum
assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh.
It's supposed to go, yeah.